So, what is wind? You may have thought this before, and the answer is wind is moving air. But the real question here is, why is the air moving in the first place? Puzzling question, I know. The Earth isn't covered in giant fans, so what caused the air to move? If we want to get to the bottom of this mystery, I have to introduce to you an old friend, like a 3-century-old friend. Introducing the one and only French balloon-loving physicist,
Jacques Charles. Thank you so much for having me here.
So, can you show us how wind works?
Not exactly, but kind of.
What?
And here we are in my laboratory. If you want to know how wind works, you need to know how gas works first. For this demonstration, I have procured us a sample of gas that will allow us to see how the gas works under certain conditions. If you were to look really close at the sample of gas, you would see a bunch of very small moving particles. Those particles are what make up the gas.
Wonder what would happen if we heated it.
Well, when you heat a gas, or anything for that matter, the particles that make it up begin to move around more and more erratically. Scientists like moi call this process heat. As you can see, the particles that make up the gas have started to move faster and faster underneath the heat. As they move faster and faster, the spaces between the particles get wider and wider. This increases the volume of the gas.
Whoa, I think it's gonna blow.
Correct. As the volume goes up, the pressure does too. If the pressure gets high enough, it'll explode. The gas was so excited, it was able to blow the stopper out of the test tube.
So we know what happens when a gas is heated, but what happens if we cool it down?
Let's see, shall we? When the gas is heated, its particles become more and more excited. But as we cool it down, the opposite happens. Instead of frantically moving around, the particles begin to calm down. And the spaces between the
So, now that we have discussed the basic properties of gas, let's talk about wind. Wind is formed when air is heated by the sun and it begins to rise. This rising air leaves a space that needs to be filled, called a low-pressure area. Cool air fills this area, and the cycle repeats again, with sun heating the cool air, and the hot air cooling down and falling back to Earth. This process is called convection, and it creates wind.